Good morning, everyone. I am Rorin Maria Sislege, and today I will be presenting our study entitled Physical Therapy Students' Perceptions on Yoga Exercises as a Stress Coping Mechanism. So, physical therapy students were said to have increased stress levels due to demanding academic loads. Currently, COVID-19 pandemic causes students to experience additional stress due to worries on health, finances, environmental safety, and compliance to online class activities. Some Filipino medical students are not able to adapt to online learning, resulting in mental health crisis. So PT students practice spiritual, cognitive, physical adaptive and non-adaptive, and emotional adaptive coping mechanisms. Yoga exercises is a physical adaptive coping mechanism that can cause advantages for busy college students. So medical students practicing yoga exercises presented lesser examination failure, improved academic performance, and total well-being. There are limited local studies involving yoga and its effect on stress. So overall, it could not be denied that PLM-BS PT students experience academic stress, and with this, yoga exercises can be a way to cope with stress. Therefore, this study determined and analyzed the perceptions of PLM-BS PT students with prior yoga knowledge or awareness on yoga as a stress coping mechanism. So a total of 243 PLM-BS physical therapy students of academic year 2020 to 2021 participated in the study. This did not include students from other programs nor the graduate program of physical therapy, and students who are diagnosed with psychosocial conditions. So this study utilized a structured closed-ended questionnaire, including a set of self-made questions for identifying the demographics characteristics and measuring the perception on yoga as a stress coping mechanism. Perceptions of academic stress or PAS scale for measuring the stress level, and adapted items from beliefs about yoga scale or base to supplement the questions under yoga perception. The questionnaire was validated by a yoga instructor, a psychology professor, and a PT lecturer. So all responses were grouped based on the year level of the respondents, and all data gathered were tabulated digitally using Microsoft Excel and SPSS version 25. Then it was endorsed to a statistician for analysis. So mean and standard deviation and frequency and percentage were used to present the data for the demographics. The population were categorized based on the respondent's gender and then computed for the mean and standard deviation for the overall scores of the perception of academic stress and yoga exercises as a coping mechanism for stress. So Table 3 represents the demographic data of PLM-BS physical therapy students of academic year 2020 to 2021. So majority of the respondents are female within the age group of 19 to 22 years old. Most of the participants were physically inactive in terms of exercise or sports activities and had no exercise routine. Thus, majority do not practice or have not experienced yoga exercises before. So students who study longer hours got significantly higher scores. As this study was conducted in a time of a pandemic, factors were considered that affected the results of the characteristics of some respondents. The suspension of internships, on-the-job training, and practicums led to lesser academic hours of fifth-year students, as they are supposedly under transition year, which also led to more leisure and short hours than academic hours. So Figure 3 shows the overall perception of academic stress per gender of PLM-BS physical therapy students of academic year 2020 to 2021. So the female respondents presented with the overall lowest perception of academic stress or PAS score, which indicated that they have the highest PAS level. Though other previous study claimed that there is no significance in gender association with stress because of the differences in the social and educational environments among medical students. In terms of year level, the fifth-year students presented with the overall highest pass score, which indicated that they have the lowest pass level. This is primarily due to the adaptation techniques of higher year students in dealing with academic and other sources of stress. So similarly, fifth-year Filipino PT students had the lowest academic stress level because they do not take any major subjects, except for thesis. So on the contrary, third-year PT students had the highest stress in terms of academic stress among the year levels in the study. This is primarily because third-year students experience a number of major subjects as they were about to transition to physical therapy proper and internship program. So table 4 highlights the overall perception of academic stress of PLM BSPT students of academic year 2020 to 2021. So with regards to each sub-question, overall, items which were ranked the highest in the first sub-question are yoga exercises are beneficial to an individual's physical and mental health, as well as yoga exercises are effective for coping with stress. The lowest in the overall responses were statements yoga exercises would take too much time and I will be able to implement yoga exercises as part of my routine. For the former statement, if the respondents answered strongly agree, it denotes a negative perception on yoga exercise, which is opposite to the interpretation of the other items. So, not surprisingly, both statements are related to time. So, of the second sub-question, which was the overall perception on yoga exercises as a means to reduce the negative effects of stress, there was a higher score with the physical effects more than the mental effects. This may be due to the population of this study, which are more inclined to focus on improving the physical aspect of health. So in conclusion, the respondents perceive yoga exercise as a stress coping mechanism. They perceive that yoga exercises are much more likely to avoid or alleviate stress, causing the negative and physical and mental effects. However, they generally disagree on implementing it as part of their routine. So this study is essential in physical therapy practice because it aims to describe the perception of yoga exercises as a coping mechanism to students who experience academic stress. Furthermore, the vital results of these experiments could be of highly significance to the BSPT physically active students. So this can be an opportunity for the students who include working out in their lifestyle and are having difficulties with time management to consider yoga exercises in their weekly routines. So in physical therapy research, this may influence other researchers to conduct further studies to describe yoga exercises as a way of coping mechanism to stress. So since yoga exercises have been perceived favorably in reducing the negative effects of stress, it can play a vital role in a student's life, especially among those with high perceived stress levels, by trying out yoga exercises to maintain their general wellness and to utilize it as a coping mechanism. So, we researchers further recommend correlation of studies showing a relationship between the number of hours allotted for academic, leisure, and shore activities and the stress level of the participants amid COVID-19 pandemic. So we also recommend studies on perceptions involving yoga exercises as an adjunct exercise to physical therapy intervention and studies incorporating yoga exercises to student-centered activities that tackle stress reduction. So that would be all in our discussion on physical therapy students' perceptions on yoga exercises as a stress coping mechanism. So thank you and have a great day.